what we have here is small living room. We have a kitchen here and a dining room. We're going to be setting up a few different angles. So one of them is probably going to be from over here. So I definitely want to capture the dining room together with that part of the kitchen. One of them is going to be the living room. The first one that I know for sure that we're going to do is this one. I'm going to set up the composition on this one first. I'm going to go to the visual settings. I'm going to make the rendering quality up to ultra. I'm going to go to output and I'm going to fix the aspect ratio. So I'm going to go to custom and I'm going to leave it at 1200 by 1200. And in order for that to apply to the actual view here, I'm going to have to click on the save frame tool. And as you can see, that is already applied here. I'm going to need to lower the field of view to something like 70, go a bit higher, and probably try to capture cameras to something like this, right? And then after I've set this up, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the projection. I'm going to leave it at 2 point. This makes sure that all of the 90 degree, straight lines or 90 degree angles or vertical lines are set to 90 degree. So I'm going to go to the view management and I'm going to save this as camera 1 dining room. I think this can look quite cool too. So what I'm going to do is maybe I just go to the visual settings once again. I duplicate this and I save this as camera 2 and I'm going to type in living room. First thing that I'm probably going to do is lighting. As always, I think that's what makes the biggest difference. And it should probably be the initial step, especially when dealing with ready-made models like this. There's one light that should come into kitchen area. So I'm going to go over here, add the Enscape objects. So I'm going to increase this in size. Let's first increase it vertically. And then let's make this wider as well. Now I'm going to increase the luminous power. Okay, the reason why I'm not placing it outside, it is because usually when you place it outside a curtain, then there's going to be weird shadows being casted onto our interior. So I'm going to go to the rectangular light once again, and I'm going to direct it into the interior as well. And I'm going to increase this just like that. I'm going to make this larger, and I will increase the luminous intensity as well. Let me go to Enscape object, spotlight, and I'm going to put this directed downwards. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Good. Okay. Well, maybe what I could do to make it easier, if this is a component, yes, I think it is. So when this is a component, instead of placing them all one by one, I can just place it once and it's going to be applied to all of the spotlights. And then I'm going to go ahead and load an IS profile that I've downloaded earlier. That I've used in previous projects as well. And I'm going to increase the luminous intensity. As you can see, the way the lighting is distributed when using an IS profile is a lot more natural and, not natural, but more realistic than the default Enscape light distribution. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to select this one and I will make it self-illuminated. Maybe not this much. I'm going to go up to here. Let's do, 4,000. Okay. And then let's move on. So we're gonna go back and forth between the materials and lighting just because I think that kind of workflow fits a lot better with this project that we have here. So I'm gonna lower the roughness of the wood on the table and I'm gonna make this wood a bit lighter. I feel like it is a bit too dark as of now. So maybe something like this. Let's see. Yep, I think something like this can work. And then we can apply a bump map to it as well. Now I think I'm going to change the material for a different type of fabric. So I think I used fabric 08 previously and I think I have liked it, but if you don't, we can just switch it pretty quick. Yeah, and I also want to make it a bit more beige. So let's go this way. Maybe over here. Let me check. Let's go. Maybe we increase the saturation a bit. Something like this, I believe, looks nice. I'm gonna select this, I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna move inside here, and I'm gonna select this. And then this needs to be self-illuminant as well. Let's decrease this to like 3,000. That's still too much. Maybe something like this can look good. Then this needs some accessories we're gonna add in just a minute. Maybe I just use a rectangular light because it's more directional. And honestly, I want a more directional light in these ones, so. Okay, decrease this side. Perfect. Increase it on this side, increase it on this side. Let's go ahead and apply this. I think this is looking nice. Width, we do not need a lot of, well, we do need the width in this side. Okay, and yep, I think this is just good enough. Let's go up to here, and then I will duplicate it for another 6 times. Yep, I think this looks completely fine. Perfect. It's not crashing finally. Maybe they fixed this bug with a new version. Okay, I've decreased the intensity. Let me go here in the back, rectangular light, just like that. Move it over here, move it over here, horizontally as well. Let's apply this, and then the intensity a bit lower. Is it too much? Maybe, but anyway, 2 things left over. I think I'm gonna add some accessories on the table here. These can work well here. Maybe I just add these here. I don't know. Cool. Let's rotate it a bit just so it doesn't look super like formal and unnatural. Let's go on to our next view. Living room. First thing that I can notice is the fabric. Let me move this closer. Age value to something like this. Decrease the saturation. Let's move it a bit on the left too. Yep. I think something like this can work. And then I'm probably gonna add another, like a bump map to this. It already has a normal map, it seems like, but I'm gonna increase it. I think I need to lower the saturation here. Yep, that was definitely a good call. Maybe just a bit higher. I think this looks fine. Let me take off this wood material from it totally. This, I think I'm gonna need to decrease the saturation on this. This looks better. Let's go to the Enscape material library. Let's select these. Let's decrease the roughness to like 60. It's good that when you sign the group, hopefully it doesn't delete any surrounding stuff. Anyway, let's take this off. Let's take this off. I think these pillows also need the same material as the actual sofa. So I'm gonna go inside the group. I'm gonna select it. I'm gonna apply it. I'm gonna do the same for this as well. And then I'm gonna need to make this material a bit like, I don't know, dark red, something like that. Like a maroon color, I guess. Let's keep this dark. That's too much. Or is it? Yeah, let's make this a lot darker. Cool. Plus icon, let's go to line light. Perfect. So first one from here up to here. I feel like the development of Enscape is moving a bit slower than it should be. Honestly, it is falling a bit behind, and I do feel that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still my go-to software as of now, but if things go this way, I'm not sure how much time it has. Honestly, it needs a bit of boost in terms of production, with features, with marketing, with everything else. Especially with marketing, I don't think they're doing that much of a good job. Like, I think the community is doing all of the work when it comes to marketing. This color, because these need to be a bit warmer. First of all, let's do this one, the plant here, and maybe I make it larger. Good. Even something like this, but over here, the one on the table, I can just put it right like on this side, and maybe this on top. Now that is a bit too lonely. Yeah, the composition is not working all that way. Honestly, it looks better, like a bit, it looks better gray than beige. Let's see, is there anything we can do in the visual settings to improve it? Auto contrast, let's do auto contrast. Saturation, it definitely needs a bit of saturation because it's just looking too flat. The color temperature, I'm not gonna mess around with that. Let me decrease these. Bloom, chromatic aberration, atmosphere, some brightness, is that playing a role? Let me see if I can put in some sunlight. I don't think it's gonna look good anyway, so I'm just gonna take it off for now. And then ambient brightness all the way up. Shadow sharpness, do we want it or not? It doesn't make a difference because we're using artificial lighting here as well. Okay, I think I'm gonna render this out as well. So I'm gonna go over here. Let's do render 2.